What's up, YouTube? This video is being made with the intention of kind of opening the discussion to some of the current unlimited promotions that the cell phone carriers are putting out there. Now, we all know you can get unlimited data from a lot of different companies. You've got, prepaid companies, you've got value companies, these MVNOs. You can get a really, really good price on a data plan, single or family. Cricket's got great offers, all these other companies. But the big four are kind of the big push towards the unlimited data promos. T-Mobile's been doing it. Sprint's responded with that. AT&T jumped on with the whole like DirecTV package additions, and now of course Verizon, the big one, finally bringing it back. And they kind of seem to be the interesting one because, here's an article from just a couple of years ago, 2-3 years ago, where the Verizon CEO comes out and says, hey, unlimited data isn't sustainable. Bandwidth and spectrum and the network, getting congested would sacrifice the network quality, data speeds, connectivity, all these different things. So, he basically made those excuses, but there is a little bit of truth to it, and that's what I'm going to kind of circle around to later. Anyways, this is an old article, but it's interesting to look back and see kind of the transformation of the networks and the views that some of these carriers currently have as opposed to, just a year or 2 or 3 years ago. So scrolling down, it just goes into some of the quotes that he had, blah, 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 goes into some details. And you can kind of see, let me go ahead and let's disconnect this here. All right, airplane mode. It just goes on to talk about some of the issues with LTE and, potentially having the bandwidth drop and people's experiences being compromised. So, and all that's legitimate, and that's understood. But we're in a current day and age where LTE has advanced. Specifically in Verizon's case, they have the advanced LTE. Now, I was witness to this. It did get faster in my region. Okay, so I'm in the Cleveland area, the west side of Cleveland, some of the suburbs in this area. Speeds were improving. But then the unlimited plan comes in and this huge promo, and you're going to have tons and tons of users using all of this bandwidth, occupying all the space on the network. So that brought me here to this article. Oh, this is the wrong one. Right here. And, this kind of circles back around to the point of this video, is currently the state of the network. Okay, so Verizon's running this promo, and there are users that are switching at really incredible rates. Specifically, Verizon's taking from Sprint. Sprint customers, I'm sure, for those that I speak to, are very, very displeased with their network performance, speeds, signal strength, all the above. They're not satisfied. Now, part of that has to do with the local investment here. Has the network been invested in? Have they improved it? Do people see the future in the network as becoming better, superior, or elite? Now, people always want value, and people always want performance, and they try to balance those two things. So in the case of Sprint, they don't have that. In this region, a lot of customers were probably, more apt to switching from Sprint to Verizon. So in this case, Verizon's just gobbling up all those subs. So all these people are switching. Now to the issue at hand. I've been speed testing the Verizon network. I have been speed testing the network for years. Okay, since I first had a Verizon plan many, many years ago with Blackberries and some of the early Androids. And what I've noticed is that since this promo, speeds have slowed. I didn't think it was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to be this noticeable. But, within the week of the promo and all these ports, from Sprint or wherever, from T-Mobile, AT&T, whoever, the speeds are slower. And the network does get bogged down. And I'm not even talking about after the 22 gigabyte soft cap, where people are going to start to get deprioritized. I'm seeing it happening, when I'm in the 8 to 10 gigabyte range in the middle of my billing cycle. It's happening. Where I used to see speeds of 30 to 40 megs, I'm now getting 20 to 25 megs. So I'm seeing a 40 to 50% drop off in some areas. I was downtown by West 25th just last weekend. Data speeds of 3 megs. It's horrible. I mean, if you were streaming a video or if you were watching some type of media content, you would buffer, okay, just being around that slow point. So, yeah, I was very, very disappointed with that. And this is something that's been happening. So, with Verizon grabbing all these customers, it may actually be helping other networks with their congestion issues. So, T-Mobile's a young network. They've had their data network up and running, I don't know, 5 years possibly. You would think that their network is, due to the timing, how long it's been invested and developed, they would be the slowest, but they're not. They're actually quite fast. And part of that is their technology and also the fact that they don't have the number of users on their network, such as Verizon. So I went through this and I was looking at some of the numbers and some of the comments, and there's market pricing and there's shares, and it goes through all the money there. But honestly, I feel like Verizon's starting to struggle in terms of bandwidth here. So 5G just can't come soon enough. They've got all these users, and it's starting to be felt. So I don't know if you're from this area or if your area has witnessed the same congestion and slowdown and network issues in terms of congestion. Leave a comment. Let me know what's going on in your part, your neck of the woods. I'd be interested to see what's happening and see if you're getting the same results. Sharing these towers, using all this bandwidth does take its toll, and it's noticeable. I feel it in the speeds. I feel it in the usability. Certain places are worse than others. But again, this may help the customer. It makes people happy to know they have unlimited data. But what it's doing is for those people, that maybe just need a certain amount of bandwidth at a certain moment, there could be a struggle. It could be an issue. So I thought that was interesting. I saw these articles. I gave them a read, and it made me kind of reflect on the current situation. I like a fast network. It doesn't have to be the fastest, but I like consistency, and I like, just having enough to do whatever I need to do, whether it's uploading a video, whether it's downloading and watching video. We stream large amounts of media. You don't like being bogged down. I'm not going to leave Verizon just because of this, but if it was to get bad enough, would you consider? I know I would. If it was slowed down, I would leave. So to me, I think this is a legitimate discussion to be had. And, if other carriers provide a superior network, and data speeds are noticeable, do people start to switch? Even though Verizon is considered a superior network to T-Mobile, are those speeds going to be substantial enough in difference that you would consider leaving? So like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, drop me a line, tell me what you think, your opinions on it, what you've noticed in your region. I think it's a good discussion to have. See you guys on the next video. Peace.